Was the fall of America predicted by a comic book? Is this tomorrow? This country will be communist within a year. Our plan has two simple steps. First, we must touch off a real crisis in this country so we have an excuse to seize power.
And bank after bank across the country is hit by panic withdrawals. Banks by the hundreds, by the thousands are forced to close. The whole financial system quakes and totters.
Event 201 scenario is fictional.
A new coronavirus spread silently.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Getting people to think our way would have been impossible without the press and with radio. We've been training writers and editors for years to follow the party line.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
Communists played workers and farmers against each other. Labor was against capital.
Occupy Wall Street, all day, all week. Occupy Wall Street.
All around the state, people are making politicians think that something special is happening here in Madison.
We have done an exceptional job of making different classes and religions hate each other.
When you talk about critical race theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, the white man going to keep you down. Well, how did I get where I am right now? Now, you going to sit here and tell me this lie of critical race theory?
In other places, the red plan was white against black. Start something with these two Negroes. My men will do the rest. That man insulted me. This is the fourth day, and the riots are still going on. Yeah, and spreading all over the country.
Overnight, Minneapolis on fire. The outrage building nationwide.
Both the president and the vice president were killed instantly.
His head could be seen to move violently forward.
My thanks to all of you, and now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there.
The only solution is to declare an unlimited emergency and to give extraordinary powers to me.
It's now my privilege to sign the Homeland Security Act of 2002.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
In spite of the drought, there is still too much food. I have orders from the Kremlin to burn it. Not long after, food storehouses all over the country were blown up. Hey, hurry up with that fuse.
Just moments before we went to air tonight, a plane apparently crashed at a General Mills plant. This is the second time in a week that something like this has happened. On April 14th, the plane crashed into the Gem State Processing in East Idaho. Food processing plants all over the country seem to be catching fire. A couple of days ago, a fire destroyed the headquarters of Azure Standard, one of the largest organic food distributors in the country. At the end of last month, a fire severely damaged a fresh onion packing facility in South Texas.
By the time we get through, the people would be down on their knees begging for food.
Chickens at their facility contracted an avian flu, resulting in USDA orders to immediately kill every single bird, forced to mass slaughter 5.3 million chickens.
Guys like Fauci get up there and start talking, he doesn't know anything really about anything, and I'd say that to his face.
The common enemy is the virus.
Those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have.
No card, no food. But my wife will starve.
Did you say free fries when you get vaccinated? Just think of this when you think of vaccination.
Do something quick. Congress is demanding a report. I thought of that long ago. I'll take care of Congress. There will be no investigation. There is no time to waste on such foolishness.
Call your congressman. Tell them that you want to be safe.
An investigation must not interfere with the ongoing efforts to prevent the next attack.
She asked whether he had any clients by the name of Bin Laden, and he just about fell off his couch.
Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger stepped down from the position Friday.
We thought the meeting went well.
As I said, gentlemen, there will be no investigation. I don't need Congress at all. See that those newspapers get no newsprint until they change their policy.
The Disinformation Governance Board, you unveiled that this week. Republicans are calling it Orwellian and comparing it to the Ministry of Truth in the novel 1984.
I tell you that Jones has set up a communist dictatorship. The people are being fooled. Persons known to be anti-communist were arrested by the hundreds. Come with me, Judge Martin. What's the charge? Plotting against the state. At local Lutheran churches, you're under arrest.
Please get out. Get out of this property. Out of this property, you Nazis! Gestapo is not allowed here. Hey, don't be rude! He's a preacher! What's wrong with you? This is a clergyman! Get out of the...
Whoever threw the bomb evidently doesn't like your unpatriotic sermons. Here's an emergency. The government will ration as it thinks best.
Iran is set to be the first country to roll out a biometric digital ID needed in order to buy food.
The telephone system was nationalized.
Inside this AT&T facility, Klein noticed something unusual on the 6th floor.
It's room 641A, says on the door, and what's mysterious about it is there's no door handle.
What Mark Klein found was an infrastructure that suggested that the government was copying all traffic going through the AT&T internet backbone. It's kind of unfathomable amount of information.
New professors taught communism in the schools.
Last month, Evergreen State College in Washington went crazy when a professor of evolutionary biology named Brett Weinstein objected to a day of absence when white students and faculty were asked to voluntarily leave campus.
Even in the grade schools. Remember, you are supposed to obey the state, not your parents.
Parents are not happy with the Rockland Charter School Academy for having transgender discussions in a kindergarten class.
Banks are liquidated. Where's the bank book? Quick. The government is seizing the banks. I want my money now.
In full cooperation with the International Monetary Fund, set up an urgently needed new international monetary system. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
The crowning achievement. What's on your mind? I've come to report. My dad's got a shortwave radio. He has, eh? What do you want? So, you're listening to foreign broadcast, eh? Danny, I thought you went to a show. No, I had work to do. Come on, you guys, let's go. Take my son with you. You've got his soul, now take his body too. You dope. Why didn't you check on what he was learning in school?
I wonder how many more centuries we have to see this playing out in front of our eyes before we say something crazy going on here. Is there an idea more radical in the history of the human race than turning your children over to total strangers who you know nothing about and having those strangers work on your child's mind out of your sight for a period of 12 years? Could there be a more radical idea than that? Back in colonial days in America, if you proposed that as an idea, they'd burn you at the stake, you mad person. It's a mad idea.
Click on the link below to watch the entire comic book. If you need a single location to get cutting-edge information and keep up with the rapidly changing world around us, tune into Grand Theft World, where a forensic historian and a logic professor break down the week's news in depth and in context. There's a ton more there, so go check it out. And don't forget to get your Freedom Vault on the homepage. Do you feel unequipped for the world around you? Get 19 essential skills not taught in schools free. Click on the link below. If you feel ready for a challenge and you can test yourself to a high degree of concentration, interpersonal growth, then you may be ready for the obstacle course. Click on the link below. Is this tomorrow, 1947? 2022. Copyright by the right copywriter.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.